Okay, so we're back. So you have what, 8 weeks, maybe 9 until we get there.
Yeah.
So you could be on podcasts. If you want to come on mine, let's set it up. We can do that, right? How many podcasts you can get on to talk about this product? What you want to focus on is the transformation, and then like really not until that last little. So tell us what this product is. Do you say this is the actual product? Tell us about the transformation first, and then the product. So you can do it on podcasts. You can do that through blogs. You can do that through, if you want to throw some money behind it and do it as ads, you can do that too. But
I thought I'd do some ads and a YouTube channel dedicated to this, where I just do topical conversations once on a weekly basis.
yes, the other thing you can do, hello people on Instagram. So the other thing you can do, Amal, what is the name of that program I told you that I sent you on TikTok? Google has a new
LM, the notebook.
That thing. Use that. Like put in whatever your information is going to be about the transformation that will happen with this product. Use that. Put it into Google's new thing. What is it called? Something Notebook LM.
Notebook. It's called Notebook LM.
Notebook LM is Google's new AI thing, right? So take like all that information that tells everybody what it's going to be about and put it in there. And then when it gives you that AI generated podcast talking about it, use that as commercials. Use that as sound bites. Use that for social media, because then you're not having to create it. Right. It's going to create it for you, pulling those things, right? So I would totally be using that. Hi, everyone on Instagram. And that should help you. I would include those sound bites on emails, so that people know this is what we're going to be doing. Now, the other reason that I said your actual price like hits January 1 is so that you don't feel like you're running sales all throughout the holiday season. So if there is a price for early adopters for the top of October through November, boom. And then the price is going up. November, here's your price. December, here's a different price. But January, we hit the price you actually want to be at for whatever this product is.
Got it.
Because it's not something that's just going to go away. And the reason I say do it this way is if you're telling me that you have a product that if I use this particular AI prompt, it's going to give me a landing page information. It's going to give me a graphic. It's going to give me email sequence. It's going to give me all of these things that I need in order to sell my product. That's a business in a box.
Yes.
And a business in a box will 10x the amount of time an entrepreneur spends on the digital marketing. So you have to sell the fact that when people buy this prompt from you, that is going to significantly shorten the amount of time it takes them to make money. That's what you're selling. You are not selling a prompt. You're selling them their time back.
I'm selling time. Yeah.
So that's what I would be doing.
I've segmented it into 6 different methods. One is like getting paid traffic. One is getting organic traffic. One is doing your content. One is doing your marketing. So for instance, the paid traffic. People go buy paid traffic, and a lot of people sell traffic. The problem is if you don't know what to ask for because you don't know who your audience is, they can give you, if you bought 1,000 clicks or 100,000 clicks, they could give you that, but it's not the people who want to buy your stuff.
Correct.
So you need to be able to give them the profile of the person who you are targeting this to so you can buy the correct type of traffic so that you get results.
Yes.
So that's just one version of it. I've got 6.
So that's 6 different emails.
I'm sorry?
That's 6 different emails. Each version is an email.
It's 6 different segments, yes. Your organic traffic, your paid traffic.
But that's 6 different emails. When
Yeah.
you schedule an email sequence, that's 6 different emails.
Yes.
So I would point out something different every week and then run it back.
Okay.
Because half the people are not going to open your email the first time you send it. So send it again.
Yes.
Because they're not going to open it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, okay. I was typing to the people on the Instagram. We really are about to play in Q4, but that was such a great conversation. I brought y'all into the middle of it. Okay, so we are live in 2 places. We're live on Instagram and we're live inside of Zoom. So for what y'all are here for, and if you have questions, please drop them and I will answer you. We need a notebook and you need a pen. If you're going to go back and watch it, this will be over in the Shift community. If you are on Instagram, you don't know what the Shift is, you can go to the link in bio and it's the first thing up there. Click it. So for Q4, the first thing I want you to write down is, what is the highest amount of money you think you can make in Q4? Pick a number out of the sky. What y'all come up with?
100,000.
Ooh, I like it. I think that's fair. I think 100,000 is very fair.
If Rachel can do 2.5 million in an 8-hour webinar, surely I can make 100,000.
I think you can make 100,000 too. I think that's a very fair one. If your total is not up to 100,000, then whatever your total is, double it. That's just my thought. If it's under 50K, double it so that it is over 50K. And if that means you need to triple or quadruple it, then we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation. So here's how this is going to work. Yes, I'm an abundance mindset coach. Yes, miracles happen every single day and I manifest checks in the mail. Just did it last week. Like, yes, magic happens. However, magic also requires a little bit of help from you. So you need to know what you're going for. Like, where are we going is what's going to make us, that's what's going to make sense. So let's just say, I don't know, let's say you want to make 50K in Q4. So if we split that up by month, you can split it up by month. Or if you're like me, I like to say, we're going to do this in the first 6 weeks, I need to make 25K. And in the last 6 weeks, I need to make 25K instead of going monthly. Here's why. People get their bonus checks in November. So if you have not increased the amount of money you should be making in November, that's a problem. Because people have the money in November. The other thing about this is I want you to think like an entrepreneur. If you are an entrepreneur and you know that there are some businesses that offer systems that will make your life easier, or they offer tools that will make your life easier, you are looking for their Black Friday sale. Like, you're looking for it, right? Like, we know that all of the big businesses are going to run a Black Friday sale. So when you're looking for that thing, let's say it's Calendly or Asana. I have no idea if they run Black Friday sales. We're just going to say they do. Like Vistaprint. I used to order my business cards on Vistaprint back in the day on Black Friday because I knew they were going to be super cheap, right? And I would stock up. So I would get whatever the highest price was, but it only made the stuff like $30. But that meant I could work with it for the rest of the year. So as an entrepreneur, you already know what systems you need to put into your business and what things you're going to purchase. And if that's what you're going to do, you need to also think that way about your own business. What problem am I solving that people need to have? Sharon has a prompt that you can throw into AI that's going to create your whole business plan, right? It's going to give you all the marketing that you need. And if that's the thing that you're going to do, then you have to market this product as transformation and not some random thing that you're putting out. If we're looking at this from like a sweets perspective, because I just came off a CookieCon, one of the biggest mistakes that I made as a beginning baker was thinking that on Black Friday, I should run a promo in order to get a whole bunch of people to book a whole lot of cookie trays for the holiday. And then when it came time, which was great on Black Friday, I made a lot of money, right? It was great. But then when it was time for me to actually produce it, guess what? All the butter, flour, eggs, and sugar that were on sale during Thanksgiving, they're no longer on sale. Which means now I'm paying more money to create the things that you need when you need them because I thought it was a good idea. Okay, I learned that lesson and then we didn't do that again. So then I realized corporate orders were actually where I wanted to be. Number one, corporations don't care nothing about your Black Friday sale. They have money they need to spend before the end of the year. So if they know they need to get rid of money by the end of the year, they're going to start buying it on things that Q4 don't. They have to just buy stuff, right? So that's when I would make the bulk of my money. A lot of people made it in like during wedding season. I made mine during Christmas. Now, the reason why this was great was they did not require very intricately detailed things. It could be real simple, like one color icing on something. Like it was real simple stuff that was going out. If you can do it like rinse and repeat type of thing, that's going to save you money. The more intricate, and it doesn't matter if this is a physical product or a digital product, the more intricate it is, the less money you're making. If you can sell a worksheet, y'all, there are people who are selling $20 worksheets, and then there are people who are giving away $40 ebooks for free. You have to position what you're selling properly. So instead of coming up with 10, 15 different ways for people to come into your business, have one or two throughout Q4. That's it. And stay focused. One or two ways they can come into your business throughout Q4, stay focused. So you have whatever your main offer is. So like, this is our biggest thing. We're going to run this, whatever it is. So if that's a physical product, then we have X cookie trays. We have X cheesecake platters. We have X, whatever. If it's a digital product, then I am selling this one thing. And that's what you're going to talk about. And the reason you only want to really have one or two is because people's attention spans are so short. And they need to know what you do. Like they need to know what you do. I do a whole lot of things. I have 6 Instagram profiles. 6. We're not going to talk about it. I have 6 Instagram profiles. Okay. I have 13 email addresses. And my word right now is simplify. There is no reason for me to have all of that. Yes, I can do all the things, but just because I can do all the things doesn't mean I have the capacity to hold it all. If you come to my profile right now, particularly if you're on Coach Chef Kim, it is about coaching. Yes, I love to cook. Yes, I love to bake. I do those things very well, and I will throw those things up sporadically now. But even in my link in bio, I adjusted it. It used to be 10 different links for you to go to. Now there are 4. Because I don't want you to get confused when you come. I don't want you to go looking for other things. I want you to be like, oh, I need transformation in my life, so I'm going to book her for coaching. Like, that's what I want you to think of when you think of me. Yes, it's great that I did a keynote at CookieCon, that I've been in the industry, that I wrote textbooks. Like all these things are wonderful. Another example of what, Matt? Sorry, somebody on Instagram asked a question. I don't know what we were talking about. So I'm waiting on his answer. Okay, so you want to make sure people know what they're coming for. Even if you are someone who does really intricate, like as a creative, right? We love to do things as creatives where it's all the things and it's all the beauty. That's custom work and you should charge a premium. If you want to still offer custom things, charge a premium for your custom things. Whether this is food, whether it is painting, whether it is, there are people who make jerseys or shirts. If it's custom and it's outside of something you can just like go on their website and order 1 or 2 of, It's a premium. And guess what? If I want it custom, I'm going to pay you the premium price. I'm going to pay it because that's what I came to you for. I've seen what you offer on a base level, and I want to pay you for the VIP experience. I want to pay you to go a step above what you're offering everybody else. There are those people that people have low attention spans. Does that mean you make your products more simple? Yes. Make your products more simple and less complicated. The more simple and less complicated it is, the more people are going to be able to relate to it. Even if you niche down. So like I have a textbook called Teach Me How to Bake. It's about baking. It's not about decorating. It's not about anything else. It's literally about baking and you understanding the science behind baking. That is what my textbook is about. And that is what I sell. Did I create complementary products that if you are a homeschool mom and you need some more knowledge on this, there's a book for you. If you are a homeschool mom and you don't actually want to teach your kids, there's an online class for your kids to take. There are complementary things that can go with it, but your main thing is whatever that main thing is, and talk about that for Q4. If you think of a complementary product during Q4, go put it on your January calendar. Think about, when do I have the time to give the energy to this thing that I need to create to complement this thing? It doesn't mean you have to do it right now. There are so many things that I'm like, oh my God, I need to do this. They are scheduled for 2025. There are things already scheduled to be released in Q1. There are things scheduled to be released in Q2. But for Q4, if you want to make money, you need to talk to that very specific client about this very specific thing and sell that. Because then everything goes to one place. All of your energy is going to one place. And if all your energy goes to one place, then that means we're not all over the place trying to sell all the things. It doesn't work like that. You're not Walmart. You're not. So there's no reason for you to present yourself like you are, particularly if you don't have a full team and you don't have the capacity for it. So pick one thing, physical or digital, either one. Yes, make content for one person. Absolutely. And trust me, it will drive you crazy if you don't. If you have issues trying to decide what to create or what not to create or what to let go of, I have a very simple way for you to do that. You're going to ask yourself this question. When you think about whatever that thing is, do you instantly feel a hell yes? If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And I did it to myself this week, which is why I let go a whole part of my business. Because right now it is not a hell yes. It's a no for me. It's a maybe. And if it's a maybe, then it's a no. So when you're looking at all the things and you're like, is this a hell yes for me? If it's a maybe, if it's it would be nice, it would be fun, it would be cool, it's a no. I answered the question you were typing. Great. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not something you're going to do. It just means you're not doing it right now. And don't do it till it's a hell yes. And I'm going to tell you why. What I've realized in coaching entrepreneurs over the last 2.5 years is that when people, like, analysis paralysis comes up or people feel stuck in doing something, it's not that they're stuck. That's not even it. And I have studied ADHD and neurodivergent and all the things. I've studied it. The issue is that you want to do everything because it's squirrel syndrome, right? You're like, oh my God, that would be fun. Oh my God, that looks like it's so much. That would be cool. That would be cool. But if you actually stop and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? If you don't get a hell yes in your spirit, it's a no. And when it's not a hell yes, you do not put in the time to do it. If you really, really, really want something, there is nothing that's going to stop you from doing it. Those are the things that are a hell yes. Those are the things you should be focused on in Q4, particularly because people have the money in Q4. The other stuff that would be complimentary or would be like great add-ons, do that in Q1 when you have downtime. Do that. And really, if you do Q4 correctly, you won't have downtime in Q1. Do it in Q2. When it warms back up and people are no longer in the house and they outside, that's when you start creating new things. I use Q2 and Q3 for the creation of things. But Q4 and Q1, absolutely not. We are selling the thing in Q4 and Q1. Does that make sense? All right, so we are coming up with the dollar amount that we want. If your dollar amount is under 50K for Q4, it needs to be 50K. You need to be there, okay? Set your sights high. 2, make sure that you're only pushing one product, maybe 2, whether it's physical or digital. It doesn't matter because you need to narrow down who you're talking to. 3, you need to sound like a broken record. You need to sound like a broken record. Every single time you post about the thing, you should say the same thing over and over again. Here's why. I didn't believe this until I tried it this year. People who have coached with me can finish my sentences. When I say if it's not a hell yes, they immediately say it's a no. Because I say it all the time. The message isn't changing. Right? So when you are talking to people throughout Q4, whether that's via email, whether that is on social media, whether it's on a podcast, whatever, it doesn't matter. Say the same thing over and over again. Say the same thing over and over again. You do not need to create new content. You do not need to come up with a new message. No, you don't. Say the same thing over and over again. That's why companies have taglines. If we think of Nike, you automatically think just do it. Like, the message is the same. The message doesn't change, right? Your messaging should always be the same. So there should be certain things that people just automatically put to you. And they're like, well, yeah, like, these are the things that make sense to me. How many e-newsletters is too many? I'm afraid of annoying the crap out of everyone. Okay, so we're going to look at this from a high level. I can assure you that when Torrid sends me 3 emails a day, they don't care. When Michaels sends me 5 emails a day during holiday, they don't care. Walmart and Target, I lost count. I lost count, right? Like, big business doesn't care. And here's why. If you actually go look at your open rate, you don't have 100% open rate. They're not opening your emails when you send them. If you go look at your phone, how many emails do you have unread currently? And I'm tough on myself. I don't want to see it get over 100. That's too many for me. But I know people who are in the thousands, right? Just because you sent the email doesn't mean they opened it. Or, now, to answer this question, your heading is what's going to keep it in their inbox. There are some things that I'm like, I don't have the time to look at this email right now. But if whatever that headline was looks like something I needed to know, I'm not deleting it automatically. I'm going to hold it because that's a reminder for me to go back and look at the email. So think about it that way. Like, your job is to market the thing. Your job is not to worry about the people who are opening or not opening. One of the things that I did this week even though we are impromptu on Instagram, tonight was not impromptu. I've been planning it for weeks. If you're on my email list, you got several emails from me, and I sent it to my entire list. I did not send it to segments. I sent it to everybody. And I did that on purpose. It doesn't matter if you have thousands of people on your email list if only 100 of those people actually want to be involved with you. So I sent multiple emails this week with opt-outs. And every time people opted out, my feelings were not hurt. I was actually very relieved. Because now that means I am building a targeted email list of people who are going to want to buy from me when I send them something for sale. Just because you have 10,000 people on the email list doesn't mean that 10,000 people are buying from you. I would rather have 200 people on my email list and 150 of them buy from me than to have 10,000 and 10 buy from me. So I intentionally was sending out emails this week to my entire list. Yes, and I put it at the very top. I did it on purpose. It was at the top of an email this week. I did it on purpose. If you don't want to read this content, please click here and opt out. Please get off my email list. Not that I don't want you here, but why are you here? And the other piece of this is, particularly if you are a business owner in transition and your offerings have changed, my email list still goes out to my old clients. Whether it's people who have coached with me before, but my coaching program has changed. I don't want to pay people. Well, okay, I'm on Flowdesk, so I don't have to pay for people to be there. But for people who are on other things where they really do charge you per person, yeah, I don't want to be paying for you. You don't want to buy anything from me. Please get off my email list. But how else are you going to be able to do that, right? So I very intentionally was sending emails to clear off my email list. And I also had triggers built into those emails. So while yes, up at the top of one, it said click here. If you don't want to be here, it was also at the bottom of the email. There was one that said, if you're interested in XYZ, click here. That moved people to a completely different segment that now I know you are interested in coaching from me. You are interested in what I have to say. You actually read my email. Those are the people that I will send the email to buy something from me because they're warm. I don't have to convince you. You already clicked it and told me that you want to be here. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about, am I sending too many? Send it. Please send it. And the other thing about that is, now, this is the only thing I don't like about Flowdesk. If somebody opts out of your email on Flowdesk, they can never come back with that same email. They cannot come back with that same email. So while like I can opt out of, let's say Target, right? Like I'm opting out of this for the holiday season because y'all sending me 6 in a day. I can always go back and get back on that list. So that's something else you want to look at. You can go in there, like, you know, now even like Etsy and different places, if you want to opt out of holiday content, Mother's Day, Father's Day, things like that, right? Like if that's going to be a trigger for you, they give you the option to opt out of the promos that are coming. Set that up in your email. If you're not interested in hearing about our Christmas specials, click here and opt out. But it keeps them on your list so that they can find out about other things. Or if you're doing a market, or if you're doing a pop-up, or if you're, you know, launching something different, they can be on that one. They just may not want to hear about these specific things. I would put that in there and I wouldn't be afraid of it. If they unsubscribe, great. Wonderful. Because they weren't buying anything from you anyway. So that's just kind of how I look at it. So yes, send the emails. That was one of the things on the list. Send the emails to the people. Here's why. If you don't send the email, they don't know what you're selling. Just because you posted it on social media. Here's another thing. I check Facebook maybe once a week. Maybe once a week. So if you post that you're doing something on Facebook, even though I love you and I'm a fan and I would buy it if I saw it, then great. But if the only place you put it was on Facebook and I'm not on Facebook, I never saw it. And now you think your product wasn't worthy of people buying it. That's not true. I just didn't see it. Send the email. If I don't want to be on your email list, I will unsubscribe. And I think at this point, most people are checking their Facebook. Facebook is now delaying up to 5 days. Y'all, I did the CookieCon keynote almost 2 weeks ago. No, it's Wednesday. I did it 2 weeks ago. There are people just now seeing that post on Facebook. 2 weeks ago, and people are still commenting and liking it. It's just now showing it to you. Do not rely on social media as that place where you're trying to send something out. Send it out via email. That's what's going to put it straight in their inbox. Or if you have the system set up correctly, send it to them as a text. That's going to give you a 100% answer. Either they going to see it or they going to unsubscribe. but it works. So think about it that way, but don't overcomplicate if you're sending out. The other thing is, if you know you're sending out many emails, okay? Many emails. If you know you're going to send more than one in a day, don't put everything in the email. Hit a main point in the email and then do another email that has another main point. If you put everything in every email, I promise you I'm not reading it. I promise you I'm not reading it. I'm going to skim it. If it's super important, change the color or make it bold. Serve like a high-class dinner. Serve it in courses. Serve it in courses. If you are selling more than one thing, you need to break that up. The same way if I'm looking at a Target or a Walmart or a Torrid or a Lane Bryant or whatever, there are different categories that I'm looking at, right? So we're just going to go, we're going to go sweet stuff because I'm looking at the people who are watching on Instagram. Hey, y'all. Most of them are sweets people. So if you've got platters, if you have baskets, if you have, if you're going to be at markets, you have pop-ups coming up, don't put all that in one thing. Split that up in categories. Where to find me this holiday season, and then list your pop-ups or your markets. Things to order on the website. These are your regular things. So like your cookie trays, cake platters, baskets. If you're doing specific gifting items, people love a gift. Okay. Put a gift tag on it. It's now a gift. Gifts for others. Like, although be very specific in what the category is, the closer we get to Christmas, last minute gift ideas. I would not be talking about a cookie tray or a platter or a pound cake. I wouldn't be talking about any of that the week of Christmas. The only thing I would be talking about are last minute gift ideas. And you are only showing them gifts you already have. For digital business owners, even though I would be talking about last minute gift ideas, they would be gift cards. So here's a gift card for people in business. For business owners, if you are not telling the people in your life that you want a gift card to XYZ business, y'all need to step your game up on that one. I always want a business gift for Christmas. Always. If somebody can buy me a year subscription to something, I love that for me. So if you have the capacity to offer, like if you have, there was a company whose booth was across from us and their name is totally leaving my brain at the moment, while we were at CookieCon, but they had a monthly subscription service to files for you to be able to cut out your own cookie cutters. That would have a 1 year subscription and I would have gift cards. People would be able to buy somebody else that. And here's why I say that. People like me, all the kids in my life, they get an annual pass to something. So like when my kids were little, I wanted gift passes to the aquarium, to the zoo, to like places that we frequent, to Fern Bank, because we homeschool, right? So I was looking for all those places that we could get an annual pass to it. Then, oh, okay, I see it. That's what we got for Christmas. And people were more than happy to do that than to like give us junk that my kids were never going to use. If you do it as a business owner, what solution do you offer that you can turn into a subscription? Do not shoot yourself in the foot with this. Do not shoot yourself in the foot with this, because you can. Don't price it incorrectly. And then later on in the year, you're like, dang, I didn't price it well enough. Figure that out before you just throw up a sale. Okay, so we've got that for Q4. Before we continue, I want to make sure I hit all the cookie or prints. Thank you, Raylan. I love that you like remember these things. I don't remember anything. Cookie or prints. Now, cookie or prints, if you see this, I just gave you a little, just so you know. All right. Another thing that you can be doing as we move into Q4 is level set what your capacity is. It sounds great to say we can make $50,000 in 3 months. You can. You 100% can. I fully believe that you can. However, you need to look at the capacity of your life. How many things are you required to attend? When my kids were little, there were Christmas parties, there was Spirit Week, there's family coming in town, there's kids you got to get from the airport, whatever. Go pull out your calendar. Don't just look at October. You need to look at October, November, and December. More than likely, the bulk of your time is in the month of October. More than likely, the bulk of your time for the next 3 months is in October. If you don't build that foundation in October, you can forget it in November and December. You can forget it. Here's why. By the time we hit Thanksgiving, people are frantic. They are rushing to buy things. They are realizing they left somebody off a list and now we got to get something else. We're in the middle of a strike. That strike, we not going to feel it until Thanksgiving. How are people's pockets going to fare after Thanksgiving? Pay attention to what is happening in the world. They've already told us we're good for the next couple of weeks. But y'all, they already on strike. Toilet paper is not even one of those things. Do not tell the people to go buy toilet paper. But yes, we did buy our toilet paper in bulk. But that's not one of the things. If you are a baker, this is going to affect your business. It is 100% going to affect your business if you do anything in food. It will 100% affect your business by Thanksgiving. I will not be surprised that if this year, this is the first year that butter is not on sale. That would not surprise me. Butter is on sale every year for holiday baking. I would be surprised if butter goes on sale this year. If you are someone who uses, what's the Irish butter? It's a real specific one that people love for their holiday baking. We can't get it. So when it's out where it is currently, if you are a person who uses whatever that Irish butter is for your buttercream, you need to be stocking up because we're not going to be able to get it. Kerrygold, thank you, Tanisha. Kerrygold butter, we're not going to be able to get it. Go look at the ports. I don't even remember where I saw it earlier today. Look at the port, because it's not all Dockers. It's just on the east. Go look at what comes in there. Kerrygold butter is in that. Now, do they have warehouses full of this stuff right now? Yes, they do. Will they have it by Thanksgiving? No, they will not. They're already saying that. We're not going to see it. Like, that's when you're going to start feeling it. So that means that when you start pricing your stuff for Christmas, you can't have cookie trays on sale. Your cost to make it is going to cost you more. You cannot throw things on sale. Go look at whatever is coming into these ports and watch how long it takes for the stuff to get here. Something like every day that they're on strike, and we're on what day 2? Every day they're on strike, it sets us back 5 to 10 days. So if it's traveling from overseas to get to the United States, please be mindful of this and do not go, oh, I'm going to throw up this real cute $2 cupcake sale. No, you're not. Not this year. Not this year. You were not, because you're not going to make any money. So these are the things you need to be looking at so that you can plan accordingly as we move forward. The other thing is lots of people like to give their gifting and things of the sort. What things can you do to supplement your income? What is one really quick digital product you can use to supplement income? It could be something as simple as a downloadable recipe. Here's a family favorite. It can be an ebook. Here's a new holiday ebook. The thing that sells well for me every year and has been since 2020 is an ebook for cookie decorating with children. And it's not even like step by step, here's how you flirt, Oreo icing type of thing. This is just like drop cookies. Like a cookies for Santa type of situation. Or no bake dessert type of thing. More than likely this year, I'm probably doing, because I'm not doing anything sugar based. It will probably be something that helps people get their business in order for the new year. And we'll sell that like as an ebook or something like that. free to fee. Actually, we've already written it. Free to fee is going to be the thing that we sell this year. I already wrote it. If you're at CookieCon, you already got it free. But for anybody else, she's going to cost you $14.99 to get it. However, that's still not enough money. Because if you do what I tell you to do in the book, if you break that out and do it over the course of 2025, the end of 2025 won't look like the end of 2024. You will make more money and you will make it with ease. That was the whole point of the book, is that you don't have to work hard in order to make money. I don't believe that. So I wrote a book that gives you my belief that you don't have to work hard in order to make money. What can you offer people as a one-time thing? Like, you make it once and then boom, 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 we rinse and repeat and continue to sell it. That can help you supplement your income. If you are offering classes, whether it is in person or online, make sure you charge accordingly. For people who are doing like a physical product type thing, like I used to do cookie decorating classes in person. Those are cute and those are fun. You still got to make the cookies, or don't. Send it out to them ahead of time and say, here's what you need to bring to class. You are the teacher. And if you are teaching other people how to do the things, if they don't make their own cookies or make their own cupcakes to learn how to decorate, you're just teaching them how to decorate. You're not teaching them the full process. Here you go. If you decide that, oh, I want to use my, very special recipe or whatever, great, charge for that. That's a premium. Do not charge the same amount of money as somebody who was telling people to bring the stuff in themselves. If you were doing it online, if you are shipping supplies and materials before a class, you charge a premium for that. Other than that, you send them a list and say, here are the things you need for a class. Y'all, people will pay for it. They'll pay for it. If you are doing a class online and let's say you're teaching people something, look at the value of what you're teaching and then price it. Everybody isn't looking for the cheapest thing out there. As a matter of fact, if your price point is too low, I'm a parent who won't buy it. Because I will look at whatever it is you say you're offering and I'll look at the price you charge for it. And I'm going to say one of two things. Either you don't know how to price your product or I'm actually not going to get the value I want out of it. The flip side of that is if you promise that you can deliver something and then you do not, you are going to have horrible reviews. So just make sure that whatever it is that you are putting out in Q4, that I don't do a money back guarantee because I don't need it. But because I'm a Virgo. I refuse to put anything out here in these streets that's not going to be wonderful. I'm going to over deliver at all times. If you are not someone who has systems in place where you can over deliver, then just make sure that you're charging accordingly to where you need to be charging. Now, we're going to talk about this one last thing because I think it's kind of important. This time last year, I had a goal of making, I think I wanted to make $50,000 last year. I know definitely $30,000 at the end of last year. And then life happened. And I mean life happened. My father went into the hospital the day before Halloween. And then he died the week of Thanksgiving. That was not on my bingo card last year. And so I spent most of Q1 and Q2 feeling guilty for not making the money I said I wanted to make in Q4. And what I had to realize is if you build these plans without building in the fact that life will happen, then you will be left with guilt. So how do you not do that? This is why I say you simplify. We're not offering 15 things. You're only offering 2. 1, if you can. 2 at max. That's all you're going to talk about. That's all you're going to push. You're going to say the same thing over and over and over again. If your messaging is the same thing over and over again, guess what? You just keep posting it. Over and over again. Change the color of it, but the message stays the same. Build a business that can run without you being there. If everything you're offering in Q4 requires you to do it, you do not have this set up correctly. You do not have this set up correctly. November 2020 is when all this started. When an orthopedic surgeon told me to close my business effective immediately. That was Thanksgiving of 2020. Thanksgiving 2022, my youngest was in the hospital with a back surgery, and we were there an additional 18 days past what we should have been, and there was no way I was going to be able to offer anything throughout holiday season because my kid had to learn how to walk again. And then last year, Thanksgiving, clearly Thanksgiving is not a good time for me. It's my favorite holiday, but these last couple of years, she's been a doozy. Last year, my daddy died. Y'all. Now, hopefully this year, Thanksgiving, we chill. Actually, I have nothing planned for Thanksgiving. I'm taking a week off this year. But you need to make sure that you are simplified as you move into the holiday season. Now is not the time for you to start creating new shit. This is not it. Save it for Q1. Save it for Q2. Put a pin in it. Write it down. Write it down. Put it somewhere. But as you move through Q4, you are selling very specific things to a very specific person. Simplify your messaging, simplify your offerings, and repeatedly say the same thing over and over again. The same way, if you've ever coached with me and you tell me, but what if it doesn't work? My response to you is, what if it does? That is always my response. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? And sit in it. I don't say what if it does to be a smart ass. I say what if it does because I want you to think about it. I want you to think about the possibility and the hope of what if this does work. And here's why I say that. 9 times out of 10, you've already done the other thing repeatedly and it hasn't worked. If you go into every holiday season thinking you need to be Walmart and you have 15 different offerings, or you offer 15 different things for people to buy from you every Christmas, it leaves you burnt out. Yes, you make money, but the way food is rising in cost, you are not actually making a profit. The other thing is you are trading your time for money. If whatever you're doing in Q4 requires your physical presence, you need to figure something else out. What can you do that's not going to require you to trade your time for money? It is great if you can paint on cookies and you can be like Mozart and you can create beautiful symphonies of things and you can do all the wonderful. Love that for you. Q4 is not the time for you to do that. Q4 is not the time for you to do that. There's too many things happening in Q4. Do you recommend markets during the holidays? I would, and I'm only going to say that because Anissa's over here and she going to yell at me if I say no. I would totally do markets, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if you do markets, you can sell everything as a gift. People love a gift. Teachers need gifts. Y'all, the whole reason I started my sweets business is because one year my children, I have 2 of them, they had 15 teachers between the 2 of them. 15 teachers that all needed a gift. I was in my kitchen and I made cakes. I did pound cakes and I did cookies, drop cookies. And then I just put them on platters from the Dollar Tree. I probably spent less than $50. And each teacher had something they could share with their whole families. And when we got back to school, they were like, how do I buy this? That is how my business started. People love a gift. Okay. So I would 100% be doing markets. However, Anissa, do you have your ebook up on social media? Like if I talk about it right now, will people be able to go buy your ebook? I know they put you on the spot. I'm sorry, but they asked. They asked on the Instagram. Okay, so tomorrow you're going to go look at Sweet Wheat Bakery. You're going to go look at the link in bio for Sweet Wheat Bakery tomorrow. And it's going to be up. You now have an assignment. Don't go to bed until you put that link up there. She got a whole ebook on doing markets. Oh my God. She has a whole ebook on doing markets. Girl, if you don't go put that thing in your link in bio. Anyway, it'll be up tomorrow. So if you're gonna do a market, Millie's Dessert Co. If you're gonna do a market, I 100% like for real, because I actually have seen this book. Get it, because it's gonna walk you through what to do and how to do it in a way that's cost effective, so that you are not losing money. Anissa, she said it'll be up tomorrow. Okay, lovely. So that's gonna be up. And I will put it in mine too. If you can't remember to find hers, come back to Coach Chef Kim. I need you to send me the link. Come back to Coach Chef Kim tomorrow, and it's going to be in my link in bio. Then I make sure you actually get it. No pressure. No pressure. This is what happens when you coach with me. I will throw you off a cliff. So I would say, yes, I would do markets, and you probably will fare better at a market than you would just selling on the internet, because I've done that before and it hasn't been great. The other thing is, if the next question, because this is my next question, if the next question is, well, if I do the market and I don't sell out, what do I do? She tells you what to do with the stuff. So it's got you covered. That's the other thing. For people who are doing a digital product, I have to say this to y'all. If you are doing a digital product and it doesn't sell, there is something I need you to do. If it does not sell, it does not mean that the digital product is no good. Okay? You had a $0 launch, and that is the terminology I need you to use. You launched the thing. Y'all, the research shows 80% of people don't launch. So you launched the thing, but it was a $0 launch. My photography class, my cell phone photography class, was created in 2021, professionally done. Like, I paid a crew to come to my house during the pandemic. We filmed the photography class. 2021 is when I released it. I did not sell it. I'm going to come back and answer that question. It did not sell. Like, I didn't make my money back off of it until last year. And it wasn't me who sold it. Another person told her audience that I had a cell phone photography class, and her audience went and bought it. I'm talking hundreds of people went and bought it. But that was content I had created 2 years prior. So just because it doesn't sell doesn't mean it won't sell. It just means that, number one, you didn't tell enough people. Number two, you didn't borrow an audience from somebody else. Go borrow an audience from somebody else. Or number three, it might not have been the right season. When I filmed that class, it was out of a need that I had. I had to learn how to do cell phone photography because my DSLR was too heavy, right? So I filmed this class thinking, well, other bakers may be too tired, or they may not be able to afford a DSLR. But if they know how to take a better photo of their products right before it goes out the door, that's why I filmed the class. And I ended up selling that class to a population of people who were not bakers. And all the stuff still made sense, right? So just because you create something and it doesn't sell, it was a $0 launch. Now, the question that came through over here on Zoom was, does it count as a $0 launch if you didn't tell very many people about it? It does still count as a $0 launch because you launched it. Now the work goes into how many people did you tell? So if you have a list of, let's say, 10,000 people, I don't have 10,000 people on my list, but let's say you have a list of 10,000 people, right? You can expect that maybe 1% of those people are going to buy. If you are not cleaning your email list frequently, 1% of the people are going to buy. So the same way we talked about a little while ago of making sure that you are sending out multiple emails with whatever your offer is, but you give people the option to opt out, you want them to do that. I would much rather have 200 people on my email list who buy everything I say than to have 200,000 people on an email list and nobody buys what I say. Just because you have this number of people, it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. I want people who are buying. You want fans. Fans buy whatever you do. Fans will buy whatever you do. And that sounds really like egotistical, but proof is in the pudding. This shelf right here, y'all can see that on both. That is a Kennedy Ryan shelf. Okay. That's a Kennedy Ryan shelf, baby. I've already pre-ordered her book that comes out next month. I already have it. It's the first edition of it is already over here. She's re-releasing it with 7,000 more words. I've already pre-ordered it. Okay. I've also already pre-ordered her book that comes out in May 13th of 2025. It don't even have cover art yet. I've already pre-ordered it. I am a fan of Kennedy Ryan. That's a Kennedy Ryan shelf right there. Right there. All Kennedy Ryan. And that's not all her books. Because some of them I read on Kindle. And I have them on Audible. You want to know why? Because I'm a fan. If you are not building a business and a brand for you to have fans, you will always be searching for money. I want fans. I don't care what you say. Fans buy everything you do. I went back and bought her work from 14 years ago. I wanted to read everything when I discovered her this year. Not that she's been doing this for a long time. I just didn't know, but I'm a fan and I buy all the things. You want to build fans within your business. Okay, I'm a baker and plan to switch to digital products for bakers. I have no bakers in my email list. How do I reach them now? Would it just be socials? Hi, Claire, did you not get the email to be on the Zoom? If you did not, please send me an email. Because you should have the Zoom info to be over here on this one. But hello, Claire. Claire's a fan. Okay, Tanisha, to answer your question. So, y'all are so sweet. The Instagram people say they are fans of me, and I kind of love that for me. But if you're in this Zoom, you are also a fan because that means y'all actually checked your email. So, I love that for us. All the fans are here together. I love it for me. Oh, you read the time wrong. It's okay. Oh, Tasha, I understand that. You got people who want to join for free $99. That's why I'm offering it for free no more. Unless it's on social media. So that's all I was going to say, Tanisha. If you, to build the audience, yes, you can lure in people for free. The danger of luring people in for free is that you run into what Tasha is over here saying on Instagram is that everybody expects things to be free from you. And I did that in the beginning, and now nothing is free. Nothing is free. Because stop thinking that I'm going to change your life and your business for free. Like, no, we're not doing it. You couldn't get into the Zoom. It's okay. That's why I went live on both. So here's my thought on this one, Tanisha. If you offer unpaid content, then this is content you are putting on Beyonce's internet. So that is what you are putting on social media. Okay. People who don't want to pay for coaching can listen to my podcast. I snatch edges on the podcast the same way I will snatch edges on a one-on-one call, right? So you have to decide, how do you want people to engage you? You can do like, Tanisha, if you don't follow Sweet Elegant Delights, go follow Tasha's page, because Tasha has a lot of reels that tickle me to my soul every single day about things you should and should not be doing in your baking business. Particularly the things you should not be doing in your baking business tickle me. They tickle me so hard, and they make me remember the fact that I'm so far removed from the beginning baker that it's no longer relatable. Like, to me, there are some things that I'm like, that's common sense. But the reality is that it's not. Like, it's not common sense, right? And so that's the other thing, is decide, what baker are you talking to? Okay? What baker are you talking to? I just spoke to a whole lot of people at CookieCon. Who are you talking to? I spoke to the cookie delegation. I spoke to a whole lot of people. It was a lot of people in that room. I spoke to a lot of people 2 weeks ago. And then I did a live coaching session And then after that live coaching session, only one person joined my coaching program. It was never my intent to go into CookieCon thinking thousands of people were going to join my coaching program. You want to know why? Number one, I don't have the capacity for thousands of people. Number two, I only want to work with people who are seeking transformation right now. So who are you talking to in that space? Are you talking to beginners? If you're talking to beginners, and you have to level set the fact that they cannot afford if you have a higher price ticket. You have to accept that. If I'm brand new and I'm still trying to figure it out, I probably still buy all of my stuff from Walmart or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They are still craft store girlies. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why those things are offered in there. However, when you are making money, you realize you can just cut out the middleman and go buy that stuff wholesale. That's a different level of a baker. If I'm getting my products wholesale, shipped straight to me, and I'm pulling out 20, 30, 40, 50 cake drums at a time, that's not the same chick that's running to Michael's to take care of one cake order. So who are you talking to? That's number one. Number two, are you teaching them decorating or are you teaching them business? That's two different people. That is two different people. Are you talking to the hobby baker or are you talking to the baker who is in business? So as you think about your content, think about who am I talking to? You're not talking to all bakers. You're really not. You can't be. There's too many of them. Give them free content online, but do they then follow me and I sell to them? Yeah, so let me tell you who's going to buy from you. It's the people on your email list. It's not really the people on social media. I mean, yes, a lot of people follow me on, so actually, more people follow me on TikTok than on any other platform. But the people who follow me on Instagram are more engaged than the people who follow me on TikTok. But that's okay. Okay, so Tanisha, here's the first thing I don't want you to say. I'm just a baker. No, you're not. So what you're going to say is, hold on, I wrote this down. Do you have your pen out? I got it for you. Here's what you're going to start saying going forward. Okay. Not the devil is a lie. Don't say that. Don't say the devil is a lie. Okay. I help blank do blank. I help blank do blank. That's how you going to niche it down. That's how you niche this down. To who are you talking to? If you are making the girl touring around with t-shirts and everything, listen, let me tell you something.
Listen, I'm sorry. I had to because she not about to be on here lying.
Okay, get what you're saying. And I'm not just a baker, but my point is you're saying to reach them through my email list.
Yes, we're going to build your email list.
I have an email list for them.
We can build it. We can build it. I'm going to tell you how we going to build your email list. But I am going to address this. You be toying with t-shirts. They listen on the Zoom over here.
I'm just waiting for people to buy them now. I got bakers t-shirts and stuff.
So that's what so the reason my face shifted immediately when
I hope y'all can hear this conversation.
I heard that I'm just a baker, and I'm like, but like, no, me and Tanisha talk monthly.
Yes, you do the things.
Okay,
I do the things.
Got it. So
I'm like, there's a whole list of things that are not baking
that you are also doing. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Number one, your focus is building the email list of people who need what you offer. On Instagram, they would like to know where they can get the baking teas from. So
ttsweets.com or
ttsweets.com. I'm going to put that up in... No, I'm not. I sell my own merch. I'm not putting that in my link in bio. I'm sorry. Go buy some Flood the Foundation baking teas, darn it. Okay, listen. Here's what you're going to do. I will 100% link out to it. So, to get the people onto your email list, you're going to use a lead magnet. I didn't say you were going to use a freebie. I didn't say that. You're going to use a lead magnet. If you decide to make it free, that's on you. But here's what I can tell you. Hold on. I'm trying to see if it's in my office. I don't know what I did with it. You know what? It's over there in the other room. Okay, so I was at Le Cordon Bleu 12 years ago. 12 years ago, there were bakers who were branching into teaching. And this is before we had, I feel like Teachable was like the only platform we had for online courses at this point, right? And I don't even think Teachable was out yet, because I was in that first round of people going on Teachable, which meant I was out of culinary school at that point. So I don't know that we even had this yet. And so the way bakers were selling things was that they were selling step-by-step process photos and words of how to do things. So like my very first baby shower order, where I needed to do shoes, like little baby shoes on top of the cake.
Yeah.
I did all the things. I watched the YouTube videos. It did not work. In the middle of the night, I did a Google search and I found an online tutorial for $2.99. And I bought that joint immediately. I still have the tutorial in my studio. Just when people are in the midst of, this person is coming to pick this up tomorrow and I need to figure it out, I will pay you for it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I'm not saying it's going to be $2.99 if you do this, but it can be. If you know that the people you're talking to cannot afford to pay you $19.99 to go pull something, particularly when you're really new to this, you can still make it $2.99, $6.99, $9.99, whatever. Think about the people who sell stuff on TikTok Shop.
Mm.
And that is honestly where I would be selling it.
Yeah.
You can turn your TikTok profile into a shop. And then you literally just talk about your own stuff. This is what I have. And talk very specifically to that baker. Right? The reason you're doing it that way is because you're trying to now create an attentive audience of people who are going to buy the things. So I'm asking you this, don't give me the whole business plan, because we are live on Instagram and I don't want you to give your whole business plan away. So tell me one thing that you want to offer bakers that you would have as a digital product.
I was thinking about like a startup, like how I started my bakery, like the steps that you need to take, what you need to do.
Is this
To be legit, to transition from the hobby baker to the baker, actually, basically.
a playbook?
Right, a playbook.
So from hobby to business owner. Great, lovely, boom, there it is. So you can do that in one of two ways. Number one, you can make this a real quick download. Here are the top 3 things you should do if you're ready to move from hobbyist into business owner. And it should be something they would pay for.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you give them those 3 things for free and then say, for the full ebook, click here. Whatever those 3 things are, though, don't give them BS. Tell them
Right.
real stuff that they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to go. Even if they don't buy the book, those 3 things will help them move immediately. The book that I gave away at CookieCon is worth money. The number one thing people said to me after it downloaded was, there are so many words. Yeah, because it's a real book.
Yeah.
It's just free, right? My freebies are worth people paying for it. So whatever those top 3 things are, this is whether they buy your ebook or not, is going to be an actionable step. This helps you build trust with the audience. If they can immediately go do the quick wins, don't let this be, it's going to take them 90 days.
Right.
You can do this right now and immediately see some change, right? Sell them the transformation. They will come buy your book. At the very least, they're going to connect to you, which means they will not unsubscribe from your ebook. From your newsletter. They will go find you on social media so they can see what else you're talking about. and see if you align with them. Okay? Like, that's what I would do. If you're trying to build that new audience, give them 3 things that they should absolutely pay for, that if they were in a consult with Coach Chef Kim, it cost them $199. Hey, Monty, it cost them $199 to have a 1-hour conversation with me so I can change their life. Give them 3 things for free. And then say, if you want the rest of it, here's his ebook. And the ebook should be $19.99 per DM I just got. There you go. And if you see that the ebook is selling out,
Yeah.
like a lot, then you can evaluate whether or not you take that price up. Or if you really do want to bring in the masses, leave it where it is. Mm-hmm. It's not the only thing that you offer. And then you start creating complementary things to that. So what other things can you offer them? The things that should cost people the most money. Oh, I got another DM that says you can offer a masterclass for $149. I agree. My masterclass, mine costs more than $149. But I tell you a whole lot more than that, right? Think about how much experience you're bringing to it. You cannot charge your worth. Please don't let people tell you that. That's a lie, because I'm expensive as hell. You can't afford me. I got too many degrees. You can't afford it, right? But I can charge you something that allows me to sleep comfortably at night. Mm-hmm. So charge a price where people can connect with you. The more singular it becomes, the more it costs. So if it's a one-on-one, that costs you more money.
Yeah.
Because I could be doing a group coaching call for an hour and make $1,000, but I'm only going to charge you $45 to talk to me for 2 hours. We're not going to do that. So think about where you want that to go. Don't be like singularly focused on, I'm trying to grow the audience. Yes, you are. But what audience are you growing? Mm-hmm. Who are they? And then you can go back and start tweaking those things. What is your general question, Sydney?
Well, it was more, I said it was a general question, but it's more of a question that's like a polling question.
Okay. What's your polling question?
Do people in general
Yeah.
know how to create a budget?
Absolutely not. If y'all didn't hear that on Instagram, the question was, do people know how to create a budget? No, they don't. And not only do they not know how to create a budget, most people don't want to. And I'm going to tell you why. If you think about the psychology of how children who were raised in the 70s, 80s, 90s, how everything was, you need to go to college, get this high paying job, and then you can budget out your life, because our parents were able to do that because life was affordable. We do not live in that world anymore. So instead of trying to, and there are budgeting spreadsheets that range from $20 to $59, right? Or budgeting systems that do that. What I would look at is something like this, where We Should All Be Millionaires. She tells you to buy the fucking latte. Y'all can't see that over here. This book. She tells you to buy the latte. You not going to get your favorite coffee is not going to make you any money. It's actually going to make you very grumpy. Go spend the $6 and get the coffee, and then you can come back and you can do the work, right? So I think it's more of looking at how much does it cost to live your life in reality. Can you recommend a specific lead magnet and general process for how you built your email list? Absolutely, Claire. And because you're in emergence, we will have one-on-one time to do that. So we can do that specifically for your business too. Look at what I would look at is look at the actual cost of your life. Like, how much does it cost you to live your life? Like, data. This is not emotional. Go pull the numbers. Go look at your bank account. How much did you pay last month for all these things? That is like sheet number 1, I would say, is like, boom, here's this. Then, how much does it cost to live the life you want? This is where people mess up. How much does it cost you to live the life you want? If you want to be able to go to dinner or have Uber Eats or hire out, whatever, make people go find it. How much does it cost? It's a lot cheaper than you think. It is a whole lot cheaper to have a housekeeper come to your house once a week and clean your home than you think. Trust me, I've done it. It is a whole lot cheaper than you think it is. And if you can remove the mental fatigue that comes with, I can't keep my house clean, but I can budget in $200 a month for somebody to come clean it for me, then what can I do to make that additional $200?
So that is actually, I mean, whenever I've helped people create their own budget, I don't try to tighten the belt. I'm just like, what are we already doing? Which is what you just said.
Yes.
And because like, there's no way that, I mean, it's like for every person who's ever tried a diet ever, you know, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm going to cut out all the carbs. No, I'm not going to sustainably cut out carbs for the rest of my life.
Yes.
So it's always been my approach.
Claire, I agree with you.
You know, how is life going now?
Yes.
And how are we making it happen?
Yeah.
And how can we reduce the debt if that's our goal or whatever our goals are or whatever?
Yes.
But I asked the question because, you know, we can be in our own bubble and assume that people know things or think things or whatever. So that's why I asked the question, because I was like, well, do people...
No, they don't. But what I do think will be helpful, and I'm going to throw this out to any business owner if you're selling anything. And I did not learn this in business. This came from life coaching. This is a mindset thing. A mall. This is why she's my freaking assistant. Because we think the same. This is a mindset thing. When we think budget, we automatically think Dave Ramsey. We automatically think Susie Orman. We automatically think poverty mindset. Now, they are rich. They got all the monies, okay? They have the monies. They are rich, but we are not. And it's how we look at it. So if I am looking at this is that I have to budget in order to live my life, that feels like we are taking away. The messaging around getting people to budget or getting them to buy into your system needs to come from positive psychology. How do you make them feel good about something that historically makes us feel bad? When I did cakes and people would call me and ask me for sugar-free or gluten-free or something free, my instant response was, I'm a pastry chef and I only know how to give you things that make you feel good. Therefore, it is not free of anything. And you need to make a decision in that moment if I am the baker for you or not. 9 times out of 10, they went ahead and ordered that red velvet cake, right? Because it's a celebration. I am not here to take anything away from you. I'm here to help you live your life and celebrate it. So if you want me to do a budget, then how can you make that sound positive? Is the messaging centered around how do I help you create your dream life? Because that's the only budget I want to talk about. How do I help you create your dream life? On Netflix, there is a show that does that. Where he's like, how do we get to your dream life? Right? Yes, we need to look at the data. That's another thing. Most people look at money and shame are built together. So automatically when you say budget, that's shameful. I feel bad automatically. That means I can't do something or I didn't do something right. We're immediately forced into shame, right? So my approach to that would be, if we're building out your dream life or building out your dream business, because you are mostly working with business owners, if we're building this out, if the life of your dreams shows that your personal life and your finances, you are Gucci. In your business life, not only are you financially sustained, but you have people that you employ. Because if you a solopreneur, baby, you still not living the life of your dreams because you got to go to work every day, right? Like you want to be the boss. So how do I help you get there? And then when you talk about the budget, don't say budget, say system. Here's the systems that need to be in place in your life. So if the system is personal is here, business in another account, that sounds like everybody should know that and do that. But if I'm brand new to this, then maybe I only have PayPal, but not an actual business account, right? So it's the leveling up that people will need to do when they think about this life. The other thing to this is the messaging telling people, is it calling in a certain type of entrepreneur? If this is a brand new person, they're not ready to go get, even though they should, they're not ready to go get the business account and the personal account. Or even down to put them in two separate spaces so you can't move the money back and forth.
No, this is, I mean, I'm specifically thinking about people whose stuff is a mess.
Yes.
Like, who have gotten to a point in their life where they're making the money.
Yep.
But like, they're not living the life they want, despite the fact having the money.
Yes.
Because they never learned how to manage the money.
Sell them systems and transformation. Don't sell them budgets. So the systems we need to put in place in your, and this is a spreadsheet or like a worksheet, right? The personal account, the business checking, until you pay down X amount of dollars in debt, what's the point of you having a savings account? Like, call it what you want. 9 times out of 10, they're not doing that but moving the money from the savings account over back into the personal account because they don't have enough to live their life, right? So there's some things you just like, we're not even talking about this yet. Like a savings account, we'll get to that in 6 months once we get all the rest of this figured out. Do we have your P&L set up for you to file your taxes? Like, what are systems that can be put in place? And we're only looking at the data. You have, the one thing I tell people all the time in coaching is this is not emotional. We are simply looking at the data. This is not judging you on what you have done. We have a clean slate. We are looking at the data. When people stop and look at the data, then they want the solution. But until you look at the data, I cannot help you with the solution because then you're still living in denial. And that ain't gonna help none of this. So what systems do they need to have in place in order to get there? And then, so if you were doing a lead magnet, the lead magnet would be, here's your checklist of systems. That's it. Here's your checklist of systems. For the people who need your help in making that happen, that is when you decide, do I want this to be a course so I don't have to work with you every day, one-on-one? Or do I want this to be a one-on-one situation? But at the bare minimum, here are all the things you should be doing in order to get the desired result. If you need my assistance on getting that done, then this is what that's going to look like. That way, you don't feel it. It's literally just data for you. But you have to get them to understand that it's just data. And that is going to come from positive psychology books. The book Positive Intelligence will be very helpful to you. And if I can go find my notes, I will give them to you. Because it's a very dry book. However, for those of y'all who don't know, I love to learn things. So I took Positive Intelligence as a course this year. That will be very helpful to understand the mind of the person who wants the thing, but they're not actually ready for the thing. Because your target client is the person who is ready for the thing. Everybody wants it. And we all get there. Life happens. And I think that's the piece we have to think about is that life happens. And when life happens, how do we get back in order? One thing at a time. So I would have a checklist of here are the systems you need to have in place, even though it's a budget. You're just not using the word. We need to be tracking this. It's a budget. But you're not going to say that. Because when you say budget, people automatically feel shame. Here are the systems. There are systems you should have in place in your life that make your life better. Sell them systems and transformation. I'm with Claire. She says she wants somebody to come to her house every day and make her bed and make dinner. Although I love making my bed every day, it brings me a sense of peace. And I also love making dinner every day. So I would just like to have people come do my laundry. That would be lovely. If somebody else would come wash my laundry, I'd be gravy. But I love to cook. And that would be great. We are so over time. All the time. All the time. I don't know how we got here. It's almost 9 o'clock. Any more questions before we go? Possibly, maybe. And I would absolutely, the poverty versus abundance mindset, I would have that on there. And I can send you some. I have so much information on that. I can send you some. Actually, look inside of Emergence, Sid, in the Thinkific portal. That stuff is in there. The abundance versus, I don't know if we did an abundance versus poverty, straight up mindset type of thing, but that type of content is in there. So for those of you who are watching on Instagram and those of you who are on Zoom, you are not aware, Q4 coaching can continue if you would like to join us. It is $150 a month. You can look at the link in my bio if you are on Instagram and you want to join us. Tonight was our first night. So this is what coaching looks like with me. I just went live on Instagram. You are free to ask me questions. We go through it immediately. We break things out for your business as is. It's $150 a month for at least until the end of the year. I can't promise you about January, but at least until the end of the year. It's only $150 a month for group coaching every Wednesday night from 7 to what's supposed to be 8:30, but it's currently 9 o'clock now. So if you would like to come join us, then please do. You can go to coachchefkim.com/emergence to get more information on that. But we'd love to have you. So I'm looking on Instagram. I don't know if you guys have any more questions over here or not. I don't see anything on the Zoom. You guys have any more questions either? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't see anything. Nobody's asleep. I guess y'all still here. Okay, cool. So you're welcome, Claire. Now, Claire, make sure you look at your emails. 7 o'clock EST on Wednesdays. You need my brain. Okay, email me. We can actually, if you sign up, and Claire, I don't know if you saw this or not. I feel like you signed up before I put this on the page. For those of you who sign up before the end of this week, you get 2 one-on-one sessions with me included. My one-on-one sessions are $199 an hour. So you get 2 one-on-one sessions included inside of the Emergence experience, outside of our weekly group coaching. So Raylan, definitely shoot me an email. I can get you on my calendar. And then Claire, I'll also make sure you get that email because you definitely signed up before I sent that out, so that we can get those scheduled. And then you have me for an hour. We can talk one-on-one. So if that is it, thank y'all. It is awesome. I was like, let's do a sign-on bonus. But you had signed up before I was ready. So if you guys need anything, just shoot me an email, Kimberly@coachchefkim.com. If you would like to join us, you have until the end of the week to get all the perks. But we'd love to have you. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun time. Other than that, I will see y'all later. Have a good night.